You can simply call me IP. Of course, we discussed the Constitutional Bill number 7, which has brought a lot of controversy in the Republic of Zambia. And welcome to all of you that have managed to tune in via our DSTV as well as our Facebook page and indeed our YouTube platform right here on KBN television. For starters, allow me to introduce my guest who has been, of course, in the activism industry or circles for a long period of time in the Republic of Zambia. His name is Honorable Brebner Changala, a man who has been very instrumental in advocating for a good governance in Zambia. But of course, I should make mention that Honorable Changala, who is my guest this evening, there on the screens, he is officially celebrating his birthday today, and he comes to KBN TV to celebrate his birthday via the conversation on Mother Zambia and its affairs. Happy birthday to you, Brebner Changala. Welcome, Honorable Changala, to the program.
Good evening and good evening, viewers. Thank you for inviting me here. Indeed, the 3rd December is a very important day in the circles of my life. I'm just from home with my family. But when duty calls, because the country is under siege, we are under attack. Ordinarily, I should have spent it quietly at home. But I said, let me go and participate in the national discourse. Thank you very much, and thank you, viewers.
It's quite unprecedented, and I don't take your presence for granted, as you've mentioned. Others would have told me that I need time with my family.
Yeah.
I need also to reflect, as I celebrate my birthday. So you told me that I will be there. You hesitated at some point, but you are here.
Yes. I will celebrate it with a bigger family, the Zambian family.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow. Interesting. Let's get into it. You are getting more stronger and stronger every day, more especially where the voice of reason is concerned. Of course, others will call you that perhaps you are a bitter person. Others will applaud you that you're a good man.
Yeah.
That's what a society is all about.
No, we are now used to that. When you agree with them, you are an angel. When you differ, you are everything negative. You can see the Catholic Church that has looked after us over the centuries is now under siege as well by the newfound elected angels. Yes.
Wow. As a senior citizen, how would you describe Zambia today as you commemorate your birthday, as you reflect your birthday anniversary?
Thank you very much, and greetings to my viewers. Talking about Zambia today is not an easy topic. I've been around, although that I was not very active under UNIP, because everybody was at school, everybody went to college, and then everybody went for work. I became very active in terms of national discourse after the MMD came into power. I've participated in political, civic duties, union duties ever since, under Mr. Chiluba, under Mr. Monowasa, under Rupia Bwezanbanda, under Michael Sata, and indeed ECL, and later on now under Akainde Ichilema. And I can make a very good comparison when we move going forward. Kenneth David Kaunda was a president, our first president, an honest president with a lot of challenges, weaknesses, because he was human. And most of his errors or mistakes or challenges were sincerely made. We had Frederick Chiluba, a trade unionist, who came to dismantle the structures of Kenneth Kaunda in terms of industries and many political philosophies that were under the one-party state, under the anchor of humanism. Then we had Levi Patrick Mwanawasa, a man I admire, a man of integrity, a man of principle, a man who resuscitated the economy, because when Chiluba left, this country was on its knees. When Mwanawasa was dying, we had a change of discourse, both economically, socially, and in terms of freedoms, rights, and liberties. We had Rupia Bwezanbanda, who was a continuation of Levi Patrick Mwanawasa, also left a very strong economic foundation with reasonable freedoms for the people of Zambia that allowed Michael Sata to lose an election and start a campaign same day without the abuse by the state police or the state infrastructure. We had Michael Sata, who lived in power for a short while, I think 3 years. Then we have an elephant in the room, and that is ECL, who seems to be a ghost to this very day. And Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, who is the president today. So we can do a comparison. Under Mr. Hakainde, when he won, everybody celebrated because we are having a new lease of life. And he made a lot of fantastic promises. But it has come out to be total deception. I end there.
Wow. Interesting journey, as you've mentioned, Honorable Changala. You've given us a synopsis, a quick synopsis of where we're coming from as a country and the different leaders who were there. The FDJ, the Mwanawasa, the Arabis, the Michael Sata, the ECO, and now President Hakainde Hichilema, who is at the helm of our governance. What is quite interesting about this that we shall try to look at the constitutional making process in Zambia, under these leaders and how it was done from what you witnessed as a senior citizen. How was your activism at the time, and how, respectful and how important were your voices taken at a time, and how important are your voices being taken today or respected today as CSOs when it comes to the constitutional making process?
Constitutional making process has always been a controversial piece of act by every regime because they do it towards their end of term as a survival mechanism, and there is a lot of deceit. Chiluba tried the third term, we fought it. In fact, it's under Chiluba that we formed the Oasis Forum, and we defeated him graciously. He accepted. And Levi Mwanawasa, there was NCC, which also collapsed. But it was under Rupia Banda, was not so much controversial on this constitutional making. We lost it there again. The civil society won. Under Mr. Edgar Chagwarungu, there was Bill 10. We fought it. And PF lost. Now, under this regime, we are seeing strange things. There is no legal framework, and the way the constitutional making was brought up was like an accident. It was not well prepared to the minds of the people of Zambia. Mind you, it was announced by the president at a women's day in Kasama as a casual thing, which is very dangerous. And then the speed at which he wants to change the constitution and how he selected those pieces of legislation, who gave him. Yeah, so there is no input. But it looks it's a one-man assignment. If you have seen, no cabinet minister is supporting this venture. It's only the president, the minister of justice, and the speaker. So a constitution is for all Zambians and all men and women who live in this country. It's not a partisan document. That's why it says, we, the people, not I, Akainde. No, it doesn't work that way. Thank you.
Let's bring it to the Michael Sata administration, and of course some of the news item we covered at the time, because as we mentioned, the constitutional making process has always been mired with controversies, no?
But under Michael Sata, we didn't have one, did we?
No, we did not have one. Yeah, but something, of course, which the memories which are in the minds of the people is that there was, of course, some controversy. Remember when Michael Sata won the election in 2011, he assured Zambians that I'm going to give you what was going to be called the People's Driven Constitution. Yeah. Fast forward, Michael Sata wins. He tells the people that this document is okay.
It's okay.
You know, you've got
so there was no controversy.
An animal-driven constitution, on a lighter note, you know?
Yeah,
we covered that. But again, fast forward, the document, the constitutional roadmap disappeared in the office of the Minister of Justice under Michael Sata.
Yeah, and under Winter Kavimba.
Under Winter Kavimba, indeed.
Yes.
And the people of Zambia and we in the media, we were actually puzzled. Say, how can the entire constitutional document disappear in the office of the Minister of Justice or from the corridors of the government? How possible is that? ECL comes in as a president. He goes and finds that roadmap. He quickly signs into the constitution.
No, he took it to parliament.
Took it to parliament,
and it was bipartisan. It passed through parliament. Then he signed it.
Yes.
Again, it was well discussed through parliament, and it became law. This one is contentious because there is a lot of, it's embedded in deception. Only the pusher of the bill understands what he wants to achieve. For example, there is you journalists, there is a ECZ delimitation report. Have you ever had the sight of it? Which constituencies are they going to divide? So when Bill 7 passes, they will drop a bombshell now of that delimitation. Then you realize it's gerrymandering. The constituencies will happen to be where the ruling party is a stronghold. But that time it will be too late. Then you have been dribbled. The challenge we face, we are being governed through deceit and treachery. There is no honesty. I'll tell you, I backed Mr. Akainde Hichilema. I'm the first one to admit that he ascended to power on the backbone of lies. He is not an honest gentleman, as it were. I'm speaking as a person who stood by him, who supported him, and who convinced many people that this is the right gentleman. I used to call him a special purpose vehicle because Akainde came to power to come and do police reforms, judicial reforms, service reforms, civil service reforms, parastatal reforms, and indeed law enforcement in general reforms. Mr. Akainde Hichilema by now, besides this economic restructuring, he should have the best reforms to beat the record of Levi Patrick Mwanawasa in terms of sincerity, commitment to duty, and public service. He was going to be the best if he had worked on the inadequacies of the judiciary, inadequacies of the state police. But what he has proved to us, he was envying the current chaos in our governance structures. He was envying that because he has come into power, he has changed nothing. If anything, is creating more division in the country by bringing a Bill 7, which is rejected and dividing the country. Today, Mr. Hakainde is supposed to be speaking a language of unity through action, not through deception, where you go and organize every Jim and Jack to go to State House, give them live transmission, call it consultation. Then you bring these people to insult those who don't agree with you. And you are there smiling and clapping. And you say, I am an elected bona fide head of state presiding over a unitary state. No, that is comical and that is deceit in a leader is not accepted. Mr. Hakainde Hichilema has proved those who didn't want him to come to power, he has proved them right. He has proved Nawakwi right. He has proved Chishimba Kambwiri right, despite Chishimba Kambwiri being jailed. Some of the traits that he wonders have come to, through action, to prove themselves that Mr. Hakainde is not a warm leader. Mr. Hakainde is not a person that came to power with an agenda to develop this country, to bring the people of Zambia together. He has divided this country deliberately. So there are days I get scared. When he makes appointments, you look at the list, it's all from one region. When you question, the praise singers will tell you they have always a backup. Even PF did it. But also ask them, there's one question they don't answer. But why did the people of Zambia remove PF? If PF did it and got kicked out, you are doing it. This is a passport to be kicked out. But that's a word they don't want to hear, to lose power. Because they know they will lose power. Unless they use other tricks, underhand methods, and tinkering with the constitution. They have no legitimacy. When they won the election in 2021, it was a landslide that they got. But they have abused it on 2 deliverables, only 2. PF and DCL. They have sung the song of PF even when they don't even know the chorus. They will never say anything without, especially the president, without ending it with ECL. Who is this Chibulo Mapenzi? Nsama. All this, and they tell us stories as if we were not in Zambia. They were the only ones who were in Zambia. So they keep on repeating this story for 4 years. It has become monotonous. It has lost value. But they keep on singing. How people used to do pangas on Cairo Road when people are coming from Southern Province. You know, this pity party where they feel, you know, the president sends a message that the Southerners, the Tongas, are victims for the last 60 years. Now he came to balance the equilibrium, and that's why he's doing all these things. The other day he said, when I'm trying to correct the historical injustice, instead of praising me, you condemn me. Now, what are those historical injustices? I know what he talks about, because he's the first man from Southern Province to be a president. They should have been, those people should have been presidents earlier on. And that chance was stolen from them. But I can remind him, decent men have been in those seats from Southern Province. Here I have in mind Mungoni Liso, Mainza Chona, Elijah Mudenda. We have Munukayumbwa Sparrow, Western, Narumino Mundia. We had Kebi Musokotwane, very senior people. you know, Northwestern, Samuel Ombilishi, Humphrey Mulemba, Ludwig Sondashi. The list is very long. Zambia was structured in a way by Kenneth Kaunda and his colleagues that we were truly one Zambia, one nation. And they started encouraging intermarriages. Now you have Unyambe Mulenga, Liswaniso Chirufya. And for one to tell us that there is one group that was disadvantaged, I really don't know. It is a conception that is anchored again on deceit and hegemony. Zambia Railways used to be run by people like Emmanuel Rajpuka. Zambia State Insurance by people like Matongo. You have heard about him? This country, if you go back into history, was well crafted in terms of leadership. So when they say they were disadvantaged, they are working on the minds of these young students at UNZA who they are misleading day in through the belly, what they call meal allowance. And the children who are supposed to be intellectuals and doing a lot of research should have got the truth that we are dealing with men and women who are misleading the nation. This is not the way it was. University of Zambia today is being manipulated. When I live in my house with my neighbors and everybody without power, they give them power to give them an impression that this road shading is only by the haters. By the way, the president says there's a group of people who hate him.
It could be one of them.
Yes, I'm one of them, of course.
You're one of those
who hate him, yes. And I don't understand when he's talking. This president wants, you know, self-pity is always a victim. And he always passes on a blame to others. He will never accept failure. It's always because of somebody. When ECL and PF was in power, there was load shedding. What did he tell us? Poor leadership. When his time comes, load shedding is beyond imagination. He calls it what? You can't fight nature. Go and look for solar. As if solar they just pick in the street. People are failing to find food, but they must find solar. So he blames everybody else apart from himself. And if you look at his cabinet and his aides, I don't see them assisting him. Because even them, they don't even defend policy. They don't even defend him publicly, save for Muitwa. Because they don't understand what he's up to.
Maybe that's the reason why Honorable Muitwa has got that position to speak on behalf of everybody. That's
then the only two
that's
people...
That's the reason why he's called the chief government spokesperson.
No. We can't buy that. We have been around. When you put up like this Bill 7, we should have heard the chorus from every minister who sat in cabinet to approve that Bill 7. For example, there was a report presented the other day. When did it go to cabinet for it to end up in parliament? You can see this with your clear eyes as a journalist, that something is wrong. This report came on Monday. On Tuesday, Bill 7 was reintroduced. When did the president read the report? I am told it's not part of Bill 7. Where is the draft constitution? You have read the terms of reference. There is supposed to be a draft constitution from that technical committee. Ask for it. We need to read, because that thing has been produced from our resources.
And I'm about to ask you all these questions. You have taken time to tell us how much or how long it took you to campaign and work with President Hakainde Hichilema. And the assurances he gave to you that once I'm elected as a president, the following will be my achievement.
Yes.
Who is President Hakainde Hichilema? Maybe this is a question that we've not asked you, because you really believe that you know and you understand President Hakainde Hichilema. And today you seem to be not a happy man Who is President Hakainde Hichilema?
Mr. President Hakainde Hichilema, I can be frank with you, is a mystery. There is a Hakainde Hichilema who has remained in the opposition. And there is a Hakainde Hichilema who emerged at Heroes Stadium. These are two different people. The Hakainde Hichilema that has remained in the opposition was more or less, through our perception, sincere, honest, and a good project for Zambia. The Hakainde which was sworn in is a different Hakainde Hichilema who doesn't seem to tell the truth, who is anchored on fake promises, who has come to withdraw our rights, freedoms, and liberties, who has maintained the police force to intimidate the citizenry, a man who doesn't want to apologize when he said he was going to repeal the cyber law while in the opposition. When he won an election, he came to tighten it, and he has never apologized. He has even not explained. Hakainde Hichilema that won the election and sworn in, he has brought in a colonial laws, hate speech, sedition, to put a nation in a perpetual state of fear. Hakainde Hichilema, who claims to have been arrested for 16 times, he has locked up near everybody because they are criminals. Some of them through speech, some of them through what he calls illegal assembly. Yeah.
From where you stand as Honorable Brebner Changala, do you regret having supported President Hakainde Hichilema?
No. I supported a cause.
Right.
I don't regret having supported Mr. Hakainde Hichilema because PF had misconducted itself. It was above what any normal person would tolerate. And we saw hope in President Hakainde Hichilema. But he's a man with a double agenda. He really misled us into believing in him. If you have seen, whoever supported President Hakainde Hichilema has left. There is no credible person that has remained to stand up with him and move with him. Apart from the traditional praise singers who have lived with him for the last 23, 24 years when UPND has been in opposition, later on in power. Anybody with a critical mind cannot last long because these are people who believe in praises. Even when they have done something wrong, you need to praise them. Brebner Changala does not belong to that category. I don't praise things anyhow. When I praise you, it's genuine. When I condemn you, it's genuine. When I support you, it's genuine. When I disengage, it's genuine. I owe you no apology, and my allegiance is to the country and the Constitution.
And when you look at, you compare and contrast the sins committed by the Patriotic Front at the time, the government you condemned, and you opted to support President Hakainde Hichilema. Fast forward, the UPND is in power today. Let's contrast and compare the sins committed by the PF then and the sins committed by the UPND today, as well as the successes of the PF and the successes of the UPND today.
The problem we face, PF had cadarism. Normal cadarism in the streets without constitutional backing. They were just riffraffs. Mr. Hakainde has brought cadarism in institutions of governance. And that's where the danger is. Look at the Registrar of Society. Look at the judiciary. Look at Parliament. Total seekers. These are people with constitutional powers, and yet they are abusing those offices to protect their legacy and their their discrimination and suffering. That's what they are doing.
Others will argue with you that when you allege that they are abusing their powers, what do you mean?
Look at Parliament, it's a circus.
How?
People can't debate there. MPs are being suspended every afternoon. There is an iron hand there. Look at the judiciary. PF has suffered. Judges adjourning cases sine die. There is an injunction in Kabwe where they were told 3rd December. They go again 9. Nobody knows when it will be heard. Those are tricks which are being played in this country. We are under siege. We need to free ourselves. This country, this is not the way we projected it to be when we were removing Patriotic Front. We expected a better, well-managed country under the leadership of an honest and straightforward leader, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. But he has turned out to be, I can call it a false start. He's got his own agenda that is not known to you and I, which is not known to the country. The manipulation in this country is too much. And unfortunately, it has descended even to the media. The media, the way you are operating, is scandalous.
How?
You are not making this government accountable. There are a lot of shortcomings. Question them on many issues. But you just report and you are doing a job which a parrot can do. He said, I said, he said. You are not going underneath. How can you allow a president to stay away from the media briefing for 18 months and the media is still in the country? You're saying, no, he has been refusing. No, corner the man, find a way. Put up a big story. It's bound to respond.
Let's come back to the constitutional making process, which of course is the elephant in the room. Of course, you've mentioned that you've given a quick historical background of where we're coming from, that it was earlier or first mentioned by the president that we as a country have agreed that we have to amend the constitution.
We have agreed. And that's a statement he made. When I heard, I said, agreed with who? Now, you can see, when you run a country through deception, you make statements that are not true, but yet very serious. And from there, he went to Mongo. He said, I have agreed with the youths. And they said, yeah. He said, you have heard. The next thing, the document was in Parliament. That is deceit. And you can't run even a home, let alone a company, on the basis of lies. The Bill 7 that has gone to Parliament is the BID, brought in dead. The Constitutional Court put a nail on the coffin of that Bill 7. What we expected in Parliament is a draft constitution which came from the technical committee. The question is that the one we are going to see in Parliament? That's a job of you, the media. We are being shortchanged as a country for the benefit of one individual. 20 million people are being shortchanged. And this being shortchanged includes even praise singers. This country is in serious trouble. The earlier you wake up, the better. We have been around and we have seen what failure looks like. Zambia, no matter how much switch talk, because in this country what you see, success is only by the leaders praising themselves. Dangote told this president that deliver and your work will do what? Will speak for you. Just deliver. Now the president will spend 2 hours at State House addressing you, telling you free education. Now if you have got a child, I'm the one who's supposed to tell him I'm benefiting from free education, not him. He's not a student. Meal allowance, I'm the one who's feeding. I'm supposed to tell him. So on and so forth. Mines, they are working. What is the benefit? You go to the copper belt. What will greet you there? It's shame. I was born in Mufulira. I grew up on the copper belt. The copper belt of today and of yesterday, there is a huge contrast.
So as we talk about this constitution making process, can we also, consensus is very difficult to, to achieve. You cannot.
You can
all of
halfway.
you as a country, yes, halfway, right?
Yes.
Yes, but there will always be citizens who are going to agree to something which you do not agree with.
But
and that's a level where we as a
no,
country,
no.
As we speak right now, there are others who feel that this document is well placed.
No.
It has to be enacted.
Listen.
Bill 7 must go through.
We can agree. I'm having a debate with you. There is no money that has exchanged hands. The last meeting at State House, where there were pastors and these students from UNZA, that was manipulation. It was state managed. Where the whole tent, how do you negotiate with the, I don't know. We don't need to insult each other, but the president is taking people for granted. You cannot do what he did. That was embarrassing. And he was there clapping with his ministers, but that is fake. Get it from me. That is fake. My conversation, like you, is genuine. That was stage managed. And don't count on that. He's misleading himself. He bashed people, accommodated them, fed them, and made them dance for him as if he's a king. And the following day, Bill 7.
Do you think all those people went to State House, really? Those are elderly men and women, children went to State House. Do you think all those people are not wise to sense that here we are being paraded, here we are being forced to clap, to applaud someone without any benefits?
There is a lot of anger in this country. I end there because some of the people I saw there, it's a total disgrace. But it also reveals to you what type of leadership we are having in the country. Because that's a circus. And you are talking about a national document. And you subject the people of Zambia to a circus of that magnitude. The constitution is for all the people of Zambia. But you make it partisan.
It will be important for you and I and the viewers watching the program so that we listen to some sentiments which came from State House so that you could pick one or two things from there, Honorable Changala. Let's watch some of these videos.
The President of the Republic of Zambia, President Hakainde Hichilema, distinguished dignitaries present, to our country Zambia, Wamonku na Wamoma, both at home and abroad. There comes a time when inclusion is not an option, but a duty. There comes a time when the Constitution must not just reflect where we are, but where we intend to go. And that time is now. Gender equity is not merely a social ideal. It is an obligation recognized in Article 259 sub 1 of the current Constitution. That calls for a balance in public appointments. Nevertheless, the electoral outcome has fallen this mandate because it is not entrenched in the Zambian Constitution. With this provision, it provides an entrenchment for equal representation of both women and the youth in Parliament. That this bill must be taken to Parliament for amendment. Let us not be the people who decide whether this bill should pass or not. Let's give this opportunity to the people who we elected and entrusted in power in the 2021 general elections. And the results shall be yielded. In mathematics, I always tell you to say, numbers don't lie. If I asked you 2 plus 2, what's the answer?
Me as a citizen of this country, a representative standing on behalf of all those that made submissions, that we declare the submissions by Oasis Forum null and void. Our recommendations, Mr. President, are simple. We only have 2. Number 1, Bill 7 should be maintained, and the constitutional amendment process must continue. Number 2, Mr. President, members, Bill 7 should be tabled in Parliament for debate and scrutiny, Mr. President. Mr. President, I pride myself in being a woman of not so many words. Allow me, Mr. President, to, with your permission and indulgence, take my leave. I thank you, sir.
And this mentality of religious dictatorship will create problems for our church. It will create problems for our church. So naimi nina pabwelu nokulanda ukusosekesha ukutila our bishops, our Catholic bishops have misdirected themselves on the issue of the current constitutional making process. Ukulingana nefilimu Bill 7, if you ubuteko bwachitire propose ukuchinja, tila nga bachichinja will be destroyed, as some church leaders.
Good governance activist Honorable Brebner Changala joins me on set discussing the ongoing constitution-making process in Zambia. So when you listen to those videos, Honorable Changala, you realize that in as much as you and the other stakeholders, the Oasis Forum, the three church mother bodies are saying no, there are always other people would say, we don't agree to your position.
Yeah.
So how do we accommodate their voices in such a society? And the president was right to accommodate both the Oasis Forum at State House, listen to them, then later on invite these other ones as well to listen to them.
This is what I'm telling you, that deception and manipulation. Oasis Forum were the first one to go there. They were given 5 minutes live transmission. The other crowd, because this was a crowd, this was a rally, they were given 6-hour transmission, half a day, in order to market and make them make statements off cuff. And they called every Jim and Jack from Northwestern, Luapula, all over, to come and endorse an illegality. That is deception. History will judge this administration harshly. They have the resources and they are misusing it on manipulation. That I can tell you. So I don't want to go and separate individuals to say that one said this, that one said this. Not at all. But these are men and women who in future will reveal how they found themselves there. Oasis Forum was called to State House when it wanted to march. It was an afterthought because they knew what Oasis Forum was capable of doing. Now, these people are being collected from all locations to come and endorse. And you could see the excitement. Did the Oasis Forum behave in that manner? No. Oasis Forum was reading an organized document with a message, and they were cut. I have been to State House with under Osida. What happened to Oasis Forum had happened to us as well, with Bishop Mpundu and them. We go there, cameras, short time they are chased. Later on we are told you cannot read the statement, or neither should you share the statement with the media. Such sanctions are put up there, especially if the statement is against the establishment. They want to gag. Oasis Forum was gagged. But when it came to those who were supporting them, it was free for all. It was just that time ran out. Those guys were going to be there at State House speaking for the next 1 week because there were too many. If they had allowed anybody to speak, they were going to be there for 1 week or 2 weeks. And the president will be there laughing, cheering. He enjoyed the circus. Even when that so-called bishop, I don't even know where they are getting these titles. The one who went for the Catholics that they don't have children. The president should have stopped that guy and guided him to say, we didn't come here to attack personalities. Who tells him only people with children can run the country? We have President Macron in France. No children, but very powerful man. So that circus will tell you what type of people were assembled for that, which I can call, it was a mischievous assembly. At the State House, plot 1. Surely you take a circus at State House. That is a seat of power. President Hakainde Hichilema, I must tell him, is citizen number 1. Is the first among equals. He represents all of us, whether he likes us or not. I know he's got this perpetual cry, which is his own battle cry, that we hate him. How he comes to that conclusion, I don't know. We opposed the Edgar Chagwa Lungu over Bill 10 very viciously. Lungu never cried that people hated him. Lungu was president of this country. UPND used to walk out every time we entered the parliament. He never cried that people hated him. If today PF MPs walk out, this president will cry foul. They are walking out because they hate me. Because there is a group of citizens, I can tell you here, which makes the president uncomfortable. And he thinks they hate him. And yet they voted him to give him 2.8 million votes, a landslide. After voting, they hated the man. I have told him, myself, that Mr. President, you have a challenge. You are not attractive. Politically, you are not attractive. These are facts. You know, we have a history. When UNIP lost, its members differed to MMD. When MMD lost, the members moved to PF. The Dora Sirias of this world, the Vincent Moires, the Mulusas of this world. Now, PF lost, there is no exodus to the UPND. Because one of the party is not attractive, its leader is not attractive. That's why it has only attracted those people who believe in opulence, exaggerated lifestyle. It has only attracted these pastors. How do you explain? ECL lost benefits because he came back to active politics. Because that's what the law says. There are pastors who are heading political parties who are benefiting from this government, on government payroll. And they are heading political parties. Same country. When you ask on in the parliament, the vice president says, I don't know. She's ignorant. Yes, she's ignorant because you are not a member of an inner circle. But one day the truth will come out. These are people who are living, in another world. When you are suffering, they are supporting Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Because at the end of the day, in the night, they are benefiting. When the entire nation goes home hungry. Look what the Lord is shedding, this punishment that they have subjected this country to. They don't even talk about it. But they want to change laws. Instead of solving the youth unemployment is very urgent. Load shedding is very urgent. High cost of living is very, very urgent. That's not a topical issue. But they will lecture you on free education, CDF, and meal allowance. But you cannot have all those things sustained without a robust private sector, which has collapsed due to economic mismanagement. They are telling you the GDP will be 5.5 to 6% GDP. But when you look at economic fundamentals, this country is in a mess. There is no money in circulation. And when you complain, the president says, work hard. Where do I work hard? I am a welder. My job is to make door frames and windows. Then there is no power. Then there's a gentleman fooling you. Work hard. Go and buy a solar. You see, let's face reality. We are under siege. This administration has outlived its usefulness because lies have got short legs and they can't march any further. So they have to start fidgeting with the constitution to divert us from the real issues. Our children have no employment. The high cost of living is skyrocketing. Diesel is in short supply. Everything that can make an economy function. And then they go to these people, economists, who gives you write-ups. Politics don't operate like that. You can write as many essays as you want. Dangote left a message. Deliver, and your works will speak for you. ECLO today is dead and is in the mortuary. There is a lot of things that he left behind, and you can see the support for ECLO even in his coffin. Men who deliver don't need to praise themselves. And I'm telling the president, let him stop at praising himself every time he's given a microphone. Let him show the people. Stop talking, I have done ABCD. Because we have got eyes to see. And what we are seeing is nothing but the arrogance of incumbents. Arrogance of incumbents. And what we see are national lectures. The entire nation is lectured for 4 hours. Lecturing. Because we don't know anything. Only the lecturer knows. How does he tell the people of Zambia that the economy is doing very well? I don't even know what you are complaining about. Which country do you live in? We live in Zambia. Sir. Thank you.
What could be the way forward now in regards to this debate we have? Because
on Bill 7.
On Bill 7, look at this. Look at this. The technical committee submitted a report. That was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Parliament decided to
bring
restore Bill 7.
Wait, let me cut you short. That's manipulation. The report, there is this sense of urgency. As if Bill 7, if it doesn't pass, Zambia will disappear. The report was on Monday. The deferred bill was brought back on Tuesday. Less than 24 hours. In whose best interest? And they are doing these things secretly. The constitution must carry everybody on board. Those you want and those you don't like. Because the constitution is for all of us. There is a lot of deception. My advice to the president is remove Bill 7. It will injure the very foundation of this country in terms of unity and in terms of constitutionalism. Don't tamper with the constitution just for personal survival, because it has got no business to ZESCO, to youth unemployment, and indeed to high cost of living.
Don't you think that we are putting the president in a very awkward situation?
He has put himself in an awkward position. He consulted nobody to bring a controversy which was never asked for. For example, when he won an election, this I can say it on air, I spoke to him directly. I said, do these constitutional reforms in your first either 100 days or first 1 year. Because I, Brebner Changala, will not support you if you are going to tamper with the constitution in your last lap. I put it to him as if I knew. He said that will not happen. Here we are. Here you are. Because I have been around. I know when these leaders lose favor, they want to manipulate the constitution. See where they can find a loophole. This Bill 7 is unconstitutional. It was declared by the Constitutional Court. What was supposed to be on the floor yesterday is another constitution to start afresh. It's still written, Bill 7 in the Mukandira judgment is unconstitutional. So it's going on the floor just of this incumbents and arrogance. That's now anarchy. State-sponsored anarchy. That's what we are seeing in Parliament. State-sponsored anarchy and abuse of state power. But it has a cost at some point. They can do whatever they want today. There will be a day to account. If ECA will be told you can't stand by a constitutional court, and they all celebrated, and they called it a rule of law. When they are ruled, it's ruled against them. The first one to abrogate is the speaker, that we don't recognize that ruling. She said it in Parliament and asked the minister to bring back the bill. Now, the speaker is now an appendage of the executive. There is no separation of power. The speaker and the parliament is now a co-adventurer with the executive. They are working together in tandem to shortchange the populace. There will be a day to reckon.
You are a leader.
Yeah.
I mean, as a leader, your core duty is to listen from all the voices.
Yes.
From all the angles. And the question I was trying to push forward was that we have put the president in a very awkward situation in that he's meant to, or is forced to listen to all of us because we are all his children. And therefore he's supposed to listen to each and every stakeholder. But at this point now, it's like the voices are almost equal.
No, they are not equal. They are manipulated voice and genuine voices. I will not agree with you. Those people he assembled in a tent, that was an organized circus. You interview all of them, how they found themselves from Sores to here. Who paid for their lodging, for transport? That woman who came from Umansa, who paid for their transport and their lodging? And go to Biti Kateve and Archbishop Chama. Ask them who paid for their transport to State House. Self-sponsored. The others were hired. And that's the best I can tell you. Don't agree to manipulation, no matter how costly it is. Manipulation, especially sponsored by the state against its own citizen, must be frowned upon. Yeah, it's something I would never agree to. Me, if I was told to go in that crowd, that rowdy crowd, I would not agree. I would not agree. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Yes. It's a good night.
Can we also listen to the minister who was guided that and I maybe somehow I may want maybe to pick something from the minister of information who said that the only neutral place to take this debate or to settle this matter, it will be the parliament. The reason being that even Bill 10 did not collapse from elsewhere. It went and it was defeated
you see,
by parliament.
Let me tell
So
you.
maybe the minister is making sense.
No, yes, let me tell you.
Yeah.
You are being manipulated. You are a journalist. Even Bill 10 collapsed in Parliament.
Exactly.
It collapsed, we fought it. That is a parliament where UPND used to vacate, go and sit at the community house and do their parliamentary activities somewhere there. The minister says, we take it to parliament. That's where it, because parliament is in disarray and is an appendage of the executive. So they can take it there, because I can tell you, even Oasis Forum, when they went to see the president, they were advised, if you are not happy, go to court, knowing the courts are fractured. These courts on Independence Avenue, they are equally in disarray. Then they were told, go and lobby members of parliament to vote against it. This is the president taking this, sending these people. This is what I told you. Cadarism of PF was on the street by unrecognized people in our constitution. Mayor cadres. But we have now cadres in institutions who are sworn in. So they are sending you to a guillotine to have your head cut. Because what he wants is legitimacy in whatever they are doing. Even the dialogue which he called Oasis was to buy time. Can you imagine they met on Friday, Oasis and the president, for dialogue? On Monday, he had truckloads of visitors from all over Zambia. So in the background, you're scheming something else. Then, on Tuesday, this is the timeline, Bill 7 lands. Even if you are dull, you can't see a scheme here. That this dialogue was just there to buy time. Nothing else. They deferred the bill which was called unconstitutional. But it's back. This time it's a constitutional bill. It's constitutionally there. I doubt it. Let the people of Zambia see through. Our honorable MPs that are in that house, with due respect, you can't rely on them today, because you don't know where they belong. The other day we were told there is some 3 million which is circulating, and I don't even know where they get this money to buy politicians. I don't know. There is some loose change somewhere. And we are yet to see somebody saying, no, I didn't get 3 million. It's something else. That parliament is becoming dangerous, as it were, because you are now commercializing our own legislature, which means bills and acts of parliament are on higher purchase by the highest bidder. So the best way is to do what we have done always, an inquiry throughout the country. This is the first time I've seen this moving around the country in 30 days. And you want to change a constitution in 30 days.
That has never happened?
That's never happened. Sometimes it takes 2 years. The Mungomba thing, I think, took 2 years. John Mwanakatu, I think 1 year plus. Because the country is huge. And they are very careful when they are doing these things. This one was rushed. The report was produced. Where is the draft constitution? We need it. IP. Tomorrow morning, go and look for it. If it's there, I don't know.
What are we supposed to do now? The point I was trying to put across that, the bill has been restored.
Yeah.
The bill which was once deferred by the president has been restored before the floor of the House.
The illegal bill,
and,
yes.
You are saying the illegal bill?
Yes.
Wow. The bill which has been restored, meaning it cannot never be illegal now.
No. They have no. They cannot restore what has been rejected by a competent tribunal or court of law. Yes, they can't. The legislate there, they make laws. they don't acquit or rather defy the court orders. No. A court order is a court order.
Let's talk about these concerns, how these matters have been addressed in the past. I think there's something very prominent or something profound which was mentioned by the president, in which we actually cautioned individuals that may want to protest in the country. According to him, he said, look, you cannot go on the street when we can easily dialogue, can easily sit at the table.
Did he used to dialogue himself? Who did he dialogue with him? And
the question is, did he protest? Because according to him, he said that during his time, there was so much injustice against him and his political party.
This is where the problem.
He managed his cadres. He told cadres, can you hold on a bit?
No,
we can't go on the street. Let us sit
no.
down.
This is what I call deception. We were together in the trenches with Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. We marched together many times. There are even posters which are going around where he was marching alone. You see, sometimes when you are a leader, learn to say that there he is. Now, this is where you have a challenge with President Hakainde. He cannot just come down to earth and say the truth. He was one of the most perpetrators of anarchy in the opposition. It's him. And through that anarchy, he caused Nsamansama, Mapenzi, and the other people died.
Anarchy could be too harsh on the president.
I don't know. I'm speaking the Queen's language. You can go to a dictionary and define it. But we are coming from somewhere. Mr. Hakainde didn't just drop from heaven without any challenges. No. He did what is happening today. Even refusing to recognize an elected president. They refuse to recognize ECL. There he is protesting. But when others want to protest, he says you achieve nothing. Me, I never used to do it. Come with dialogue. And that dialogue, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema has one problem. He wants to win all the time, which is very dangerous in life. You must learn to give and take. The problem which is there, he must win all the time. This is the impasse we face even on the barrier of ECL. Surely, as a head of state, with correct advisors, with able ministers, you can't sit and revisit the decision of the family that you shouldn't be there. You can't tell the cabinet colleagues, let's make a decision once and for all. You can't keep a dead body for 6 months because you have taken the family to court and you have taken the corpse to court because you want it back home. For what value? What has it got to do with the Zambian economy? What has it got to do with high cost of living? What has it got to do with the developmental issues? This is a matter the president even today can tell Kangwa to say, Bakabesha Kangwa, go and withdraw that matter. Let them do what they want to do with the body. And we close the chapter. Now, because he has to win that matter in court at all costs, and he has to bring ECL here and bury him. And if the family says, we are not coming, go and bury, he will bury it alone. It will not make moral sense. These are simple things where you don't need a debate. It only needs wisdom. Wisdom. And the support of your colleagues in cabinet. And sometimes with your own family. When you're at home, you speak to your own family. I have this crisis. Because the ECL matter is a crisis. You can see life has gone on. Everybody is doing his own thing. And yet there is a family mourning. There is even a daughter who has lost a seat. You know, this is well staged. I feel bad sometimes. I said, are these the people I supported? I couldn't see this. As that Bishop Teresa from Pundu always asked me, Saint Brebner, how did we fail to see this other side of our colleagues? And I can say it on camera. This other side is so bad that you cannot accommodate those you don't seem to like by accepting that you are in leadership. Leadership must accommodate those people you like and those you don't like, because you are a leader and everybody is looking up to you. This is the way you manage your fellow human beings. We are in a very tight situation where reason is failing to take center stage so that we go forward. We argue little things. There is Zesco load shedding and back there. It's never a national topic, but it's a national calamity. I'll leave the studio.
Zesco is a national calamity.
It's a national calamity. It's like water. You can't live without water. We can't function without electricity as a nation. This is a matter of urgency. If this government was serious, by now we could have had an alternative. But what do? They divert us to Bureau 7. And in the dark, here I am in the studio. You are using a genset. We can't even use an aircon. I am speaking on national issues, sweating as if I am laboring. The room is hot. And the country is hot. And we are all blind. We can't see. We need Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Before I end, I repeat what I have been calling for. A national endeavor. Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, with the people you brought the other day, do it the other way around. Call for national endeavor. All Christian movements, all political parties, all student unions, all women's league, the disabled, the chiefs, and all those who can contribute to national unity. When we are united, we can pull together and lift this country out of this economic malaise. And the president, please stop telling us that we hate you. Governance is not an emotive thing, and it's not a love affair where people must love you. No. In fact, leadership that you chose is where you get the best hatred, if there is such a thing. But you must remain focused. There is a greater need for us to come together in one room as one people. Thank you.
Let me just pick up a few pointers from the draft bill, which is being talked about, the Constitutional Bill number 7, which is currently in Parliament. Now, I will talk about, since you mentioned about Chawama and the by-elections is pending right now after the declaration of the nullification of the seat of Honorable Tasila Lungu by the Speaker of the National Assembly. I would want to get your attention over what is being proposed in this bill. And I'll pick item number 12, where the government is proposing to redefine or reform the nomination procedures. According to the government here, they're saying that we need to address the issues related to resignation, qualification, disqualifications, and the related procedures. What they are trying to say here is that they want to ensure that we harmonize the aspect of nominations, for example, in an event where we have a by-election like in Chawama, anytime from now, we'll be having the by-elections, and then where a candidate or when a candidate decides to withdraw, we should deal with this ambiguity around the issue where when someone pulls out, we need to go for, we call for fresh nominations.
Yes.
How bad is this clause?
It's not
in
bad.
In the past, we have seen that the country has been losing a lot of money.
No, it's not a bad, rather it's a bad clause. It was in Bill 10. You have seen the president supporting it when he was in the opposition. When he's the president, he realizes it's bad. He says you can run the country, what do you call it? By postponing. So you can run the country for the next 8 years, like that. But that can be sorted out. Yeah. Except you get good sections of the Constitution which you need to refine. Then you marry them with bad ones because you want to benefit. Okay? The only thing they don't bring here, which I keep on saying and will support it, is bring an amendment which reduces presidential power. We'll support it. Because we have a minister in that office. Every time we elect a president, we elect a runaway leader who has no supervisor, who can do what he wants, who can mess you up without counter checks. That is the bill, Mr. President, we want. How do we check your powers? They are excessive. That's how we are creating these monsters. He can even bulldoze his way into parliament. But if power was checked, we would not have these circus.
And the sending back of MPs to the council chambers, what does it mean? Are you okay with it, or is it a bad law as well?
I wouldn't debate that one. My take is not to discuss the contents there.
Right.
My take is to have Bill 7 away and start afresh, probably with a new draft bill. This thing is dead. Even discussing it is a waste of time. The Constitutional Court has guided. This is a dead document. It is being discussed and produced in Parliament through arrogance of incumbents and state-sponsored anarchy. What is happening in Parliament with this is total anarchy. If there is a country where they follow laws, we shouldn't be discussing this. We must be discussing or appealing the Constitutional Court ruling. We appeal it, probably understand it better. Not they make a ruling and as if nothing ever happened. No. That is lawlessness.
In the case of Madam Chasila Lungu, as we wind up now, in the case of Madam Chasila Lungu Mwansa, whose seat has been nullified by the National Assembly or the Right Honorable Member, Madam Nelly Muti. What is your take in that regards? She's been away for over 5 months. She's been away for over 4 months. And therefore, the people of Chawama, they deserve representation.
I don't want to fall into that trap. There are too many forces at play there. The Chawama needs representation.
Yeah.
That is right. But the timing and the circumstances that has led to this is what I'm uncomfortable with. This is a woman who is mourning the father, and then there is national duty calling. So that I leave it for others to debate. I would not be personally getting involved in that. Mind you, I've just castigated the speaker. She has been heavy-handed, especially to the opposition, because it's only the opposition that makes mistakes in that house. No ruling party has ever been member has ever been sanctioned there, or those who are aligned to the UPND. But anybody like Binwell suffered a lot in that house. Kapianga suffered a lot. Kafwaya suffered a lot in that house. And these are men who are really pushing a democratic agenda in that house.
As you face into the camera, Honorable Brebner Changala, as we go, what could be your message to the people of Zambia as regards to Bill number 7, as it were?
To all the people of Zambia, I want you to open your eyes. We are being taken for granted, and there is a lot of deception. Bill 7 is not a lifeline for this country. Bill 7 is a lifeline for an individual and his political party. This is a decoy. We have major problems in this country. Youth unemployment, load shedding, high cost of living, and indeed bad governance, where the opposition and those with divergent views are under siege. Our colleagues in the opposition, they are full in jail. Some of them on misdemeanor, first offender, sedition, hate speech, and this is very disheartening. My appeal is, let Bureau 7 fall away. Let's have national endeavor and let's face the country with the resolve as one people to sort out the challenges we face. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Changala, for coming through to the program. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a lovely night.